Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Delighted to be here to make a presentation. I'm Masaki Kichijo from NHK. Today, I would like to talk about footage exchange collaboration between public service media, NHK, and local cable TV stations towards a hyper-local disaster coverage. Allow me to introduce myself first. I started my career at NHK Nagasaki, and I've been working on news program as a video editor with a focus on education and disaster coverage. Currently, I work at an IT Global News department in Tokyo, where I'm involved in a footage exchange project and IT-related assignments. Today, I would like to introduce the project we are working on at the moment, namely the footage exchange between NHK and cable TV. But before we get to the main point, I would like to introduce NHK's current state of disaster coverage. NHK puts full effort into disaster coverage, and NHK has 54 broadcasting stations across Japan and constantly strengthens its facilities and systems required to deliver broadcasts that help to protect people's lives and livelihoods from every kind of disaster. I would like to introduce the three main resources and that are currently being used. First thing is remote camera. NHK has remote camera installed in 949 places around Japan. The remote camera is really important and effective resource in conveying the immediate situation of disaster, especially in a country like Japan where so many earthquakes occur. By the way, last year we experienced 2,424 earthquakes in a year. Next, helicopters. So I'll carry on and talk about helicopters. We have 12 helicopter bases across Japan and possesses a total of 15 helicopters. They are standing by around the clock 365 days, and NHK's cameramen are training constantly and all have the ability and skill to shoot footage from a helicopter. And when you think of the widely known footage from a helicopter, many people may remember those of the tsunami of Great East Japan earthquake of 2011, and the NHK was the only media to shoot the tsunami from the helicopter. And the third thing is the user-generated content. NHK has created a web application called Scoopbox, to which the general user can post footages. Last year, 43,543 posts were made. Among them, 501 posts were broadcasted. These three resources are indispensable for NHK's current video operation at time of disasters. And from here on, I would like to talk about another new resource we are working on right now, in addition to the three I have just introduced. The aim for this new effort is to make a disaster coverage even more localized to support and help each person at time of disasters. We have started what we call footage exchange, and I'd like to talk about it from now on. First, I would like to show you a video. It was broadcasted last month on NHK, introducing our work on the footage exchange. Could you start the video, please? The audio does not come in.
ここから NHK のニュースが放送されています。今回ご紹介したいのがこちらです。一角にあるモニターを覗いてみると、北から南まで全国のケーブルテレビの名前がずらり。その一つを見てみると、ケーブルテレビと NHK のロボットカメラの映像が並んでいます。
災害が起こった時とかに NHK の各放送局とケーブルテレビで地域のきめ細かな映像を、提供し合い放送で使えるようにしようという仕組みです。
例えばこちらは広島のケーブルテレビがアップした映像。今までだと限られた NHK のお天気カメラの映像だけだったのが 本当に全国すごくカバー範囲が広がりますね。
そうですね。より見ている方々に現状を伝えることができるのではないかと思います。その映像を見ていただくことで、1秒でも早く避難などの行動につなげられるのではないかと思っております。
去年本格的に始まったこの仕組み。現在協定や覚書など何らかの形で NHK と連携しているケーブルテレビ事業者は28都道府県72に上っています。
長野から県内の大雨関連の情報をお伝えします。
連携が初めて生きたのは去年8月。記録的な大雨が降った長野県でケーブルテレビの映像を県内そして全国に放送しました。
ケーブルテレビ各社から私たちがなかなかお伝えすることができない地域の映像をいち早く提供していただきました。地域に密着したケーブルテレビ会社との連携を深めることによって我々としましても災害時これまで以上にきめの細かい情報をお届けしていきたいと考えています。
I hope it gave you a general idea of what our footage exchange system looks like. And now on, I would like to look into DFP in detail. And the platform used for the footage exchange is a cloud web application created by NHK. You can access it from anywhere by typing in the URL and login password on the internet. Since it's not limited by location, it is possible to upload from the scene to deliver footage as fast as possible. This platform is made with very low cost. We use the platform that already exists and we just modify it to this style. Remote and support. When a disaster occurs, TV station in that area will be swamped with work. To support them, NHK in Tokyo, for instance, can download the footage instead, and by collaborating, we can broadcast the disaster coverage with more speed. There are two types of footage exchange, file and live. For file, you convert a video file into such format as MP4 and MXF, and then input the metadata and upload. For live video, it's mostly a footage recorded by remote camera. The converter can be used to upload the live video into the FP. And hyperlocal metadata. When working toward hyperlocal disaster coverage, metadata becomes very important. At time of disaster, what helps people live is detailed and correct information. For example, for location, if you could broadcast the exact address of the disaster scene, viewers could know the danger of your area, and it may save a person's life. What I want to introduce next is the map function in the DFP. On the map, thumbnails pop up on the location where the footage was shot. The map helps us understand the circumstances of the disaster with a bird's-eye view. Since it allows us to visualize the sense of distance in the disaster site, we can make better plans on the next coverage. I would like to cite a case in Nagano Prefecture, which was shown in the video. In August 2001, Nagano Prefecture broadcast its footages using DFP for the first time. On that day, record-breaking rainfall hit Nagano Prefecture, and NHK Nagano contacted cable TV, on which 3 uploaded the footages. The first cable station to upload the footage did so within 30 minutes from NHK Nagano's call, and those footages were broadcasted locally as well as nationwide. As you can see from the map, Nagano extends north and south, and is the 4th biggest prefecture in Japan, making it quite hard to get footages quickly as time of disaster. But now that NHK Nagano has signed a contract with 8 local cable TV, we are able to cover the full area. For example, if the disaster occurs in the southernmost part of Nagano Prefecture, the nearest cable TV can shoot the scene and upload the footage to DFP. Of course, if the disaster occurs near NHK Nagano, NHK can shoot the scene and upload for cable TV as well. Also, for local cable TV, there's advantage for them that they can improve their brand value by collaborating with NHK. Many of the local TV stations are small companies, and by NHK broadcasting their footage on nationwide TV with their names on, they would be known by many viewers. This footage exchange is expanded nationwide. Currently, 72 cable TV stations in 28 prefectures have signed a contract with NHK, and this number is expected to increase in the future. Lastly, I would like to talk about the value of public service media and hyperlocalization. Our project explores the possibility for a more community-based hyperlocal disaster coverage using the footage exchange to help each person during the time of disaster. I suppose this hyperlocal may only be possible when it involves a non-profit organization or public service media like NHK. For example, our rivals like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video are not too interested in very detailed local matters that doesn't generate much profit. So there is a word called media localization, which is the process of adapting a product to suit the local language and culture, but this local is in the units of countries. They are more focused on large groups of people that makes more profit for them. On the contrary, public service media or non-profit organizations don't need to worry too much about the profitability threshold, so they can aim for more local, and that enables to help people living in local regions during the time of disaster. While Japanese people are more indifferent to TV recently, improving our disaster coverage could be one of our existing value of public media like NHK. But of course, even though we are not focused on profit, spending huge amounts of money is not realistic. So we made this footage exchange at low cost. No cost is incurred between the agreement between NHK and local cable TV. So we both can use the footage for free. NHK does pay the cost for the cloud server and production of the web application, but the cost is kept to a minimum. This is very important to continue our footage exchange project in the future. Through the collaboration, we can create a win-win situation that is advantageous to both NHK and cable TV stations. This was able because we both had the same mission, which is to contribute to the mitigation and prevention of disasters. Our project have just started last year, and we will develop this to improve our disaster coverage to help and support each person. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention.